Hello, gentle viewers. This is Indian, welcoming you to Front Office Football 8. It is 2022, something like that. And I thought it would be cool to see what have we gotten ourselves into with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield is basically a 500 quarterback. If we sort by record, he ranks, where do you go? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. He's the 13th best quarterback in the league, which is, not that impressive. But look. I think we have a chance to maybe improve that. This is going to be a very fascinating season for a couple of reasons. First of all, it actually does go past 80. I thought 80 was the max. Looks like 100's the max. Good to know. To begin with, we just have a lot of talent on the team, and the team keeps getting better, which is very, very good news. On the other hand, we're also still a long ways away from competing consistently. One of the things I was actually looking for, let's see if we can find it now, is team histories. No, I don't want that. Team history, here we go. So this is what we've managed as the Browns. 9-7, 7-9, 9-7, 7-9. We're nothing if not consistent. We have never had a 1,000-yard rusher. That's pretty big. And I think that's a big chunk of the reason why we're not doing as well as perhaps we could. Who have our Super Bowl winners been? It looks like we have no repeat winners yet. No, the Rams have won twice. I take that back. The Rams won twice, the Cowboys have one, and the Bears have one. We need to change things this year. We need to be better than we have been in the past. But there's a fair bit of hope, I think, in what we've achieved. Because we had a damn good draft. Let me show you, dear friends, what I mean. Let's look at the rookies on the team. So, there are 7 rookies, which means all these guys were drafted. We acquired 2 top-notch offensive linemen. A pretty good starting defensive end, a pretty good starting tight end, a cornerback who's already starting. And this says he's only 58% developed. There could be more to Melvin Campbell's game, and he's our 4th round pick, by the way. We've got a running back who hasn't played much, and we've got Nicky Page. This is not the perfect draft, but it's still quite a good draft. And in particular, we're establishing something we've had a bit of trouble with recently, which is good, consistent starting linemen. Let's look at... All right, so we started in... Oh, wow, this goes back a long ways. Oh, because it includes everyone who was on the NFL, on an NFL roster when we started. Nice. Okay, 2019. This was our first draft. Our first round pick was Andrew Yancey. Yancey's still on the team. That's 1. 2020, we drafted Luke Dunlap, who took a significant step forward in his development, to the point where I think he's going to get some reps this season, and we'll see what he can maybe manage. 2021. Our first round pick was Wade Ayersman, who I think we can all agree got freaking robbed and should have been Defensive Player of the Year last year. Because he was just amazing. Sadly, is this 10th all time? Damn. That's really good. He didn't even make a Pro Bowl spot, which, maybe he'll use it for fire and be even more dominant this year. I love Ayersman. Ayersman is one of my favorite all-time picks. And then last year, we had the 10th overall pick. We used to pick Nate Brown. Now, Brown's actually the lesser of the two tackles we got, but still a worthwhile first-round pick of the draft. I really wanted to get Chad Moss, though. Chad Moss was the player I wanted more than anything, because we have yet to have a truly dominant passing game because we just don't have consistent receivers. We've got good ones, but we don't have consistently good ones. And that, I think, is one of our biggest drawbacks as a team. Right. So I think... How often are we actually playing Dunlop? Just out of curiosity. We are not playing him at all. Why is Dunlop not playing at all? That's super weird. Like, you think he at least gets some reps here. He is actually, like, active, right? Yeah, Dunlap is totally active, and he's just not playing. That's weird. That's really weird. Right. So I think it's time. We still have a lot of cap room. Our problem has been that teams have either outbid us, or there just hasn't been a lot of quality on the market for certain things. Jabril Peppers will be back soon. That's good. We don't know about Freddie Nebot. That's whatever. We open the year facing the Baltimore Ravens. I know what I wanted. I wanted to look at, what is it? Position. Like, team position strengths. Roster strengths. Best quarterback in the league is Jared Goff, it looks like. But we're not bad. We're certainly up there. And we've got really good depth at quarterback, too. But this isn't actually what I want. I wanted the unit. Here we go. Unit cohesion. Our offensive line's cohesion is pretty damn good. Passing game, not so much. We do swap out parts quite a bit. But we've got good secondary cohesion. I'm really hoping that develops this year. Right. So we're facing Baltimore. We've got the better quarterback. They've got better running backs, wide receivers. Then it's pretty much a push all the way down the line. The only real advantage you have is the offensive line. We have better blockers than they do. And so this game is basically a toss-up. We're slightly favored, but let's see what actually ends up happening. We were defeated, but it was a tight, well-contested game. Baker Mayfield threw another interception. I'm going to try not to obsess about that this year, but it's really hard. We didn't run the ball. This remains a serious problem for us. Hopefully it'll get sorted at some point. These catch numbers versus these target numbers are really disconcerting to me. We don't have a go-to receiver besides Rashad Higgins. We really need more consistency from our passers. I think this is one of the big things holding Baker Mayfield back is, quite frankly, we just don't have people to catch the ball that well. A forced fumble for Ayersman. Very nice. No picks. 10 tackles, a sack for Troy Angle, a half sack for Melvin Campbell and Terrell Everett. Ashawn Robinson, one of our major new upgrades. He had himself a pretty decent game. Good pass rush. They also got a good pass rush, though, which is, not exciting. Clemens allowed 2 sacks, Dillon allowed 1. That's life, though. That is absolutely life. Right. Let us switch back. Any injuries? We'll get Batonio back next week. And unfortunately, despite our depth on the offensive line, where we don't have depth is guard. So I think we're going to go ahead and dress Devin Stofers Can any of my starting linemen play guard? We're really not sure about Brown. Looks like Brown could shift about just about anywhere. What about Bueno? Bueno's very much a tackle. It's interesting that we can move Brown around a lot. I actually like that quite a lot. Just out of curiosity. Okay, look at his size. He's not really big enough. We really need to tell him to bulk up. I think that's going to be a key part of his development. Yeah, he's not very big. That's all right, though. Let's go ahead, pull up the depth chart, or pull up the offensive play chart. I know I wasn't clicking on playoff probabilities. Okay, maybe I thought I was. That's fair, I guess. Offensive personnel. Let's go ahead and chuck in Brown. He's just going to get one game to play at left guard. Because he has to. Okay, here we play against Atlanta, and Atlanta's favored. Although, again, it's more of a toss-up than it looks. We can't really base anything on these points right now. We haven't... One game is not any kind of barometer, so to speak, of how good we'll actually be. So, I guess the only thing left to do is go ahead and simulate this week. And we came through with a win. Again, very tightly competitive win, but a win nonetheless. Which is, I mean, I want to win. 2 interceptions. Baker, why is this such a problem with you? Why do you keep screwing up? That's just so frustrating to me. Why? I don't know. A big game for Higgins. Good game for Jordan Reed. Again, no one else really consistent, though. We forced 4 fumbles. That's awesome. They even got a return for a touchdown. Damn. Sack for Jack. Everett, Lamont each got sacked. Some decent pass rushing. Again, though, it seems like we're still facing a better pass rush than we're blocking. Which is distantly troublesome. Ayerman led the team in tackles, though. He's so good. Okay. I will be right back. I am going to close my door. The door was closed. I just didn't think it was. Okay. Batonio's healthy, which is good. So we will instantly dive in and go ahead and put him back where he belongs. Brown, next man up. You did the thing, but now I don't need you to do the thing, so you can have yourself a nap. Bitonio. Why do I not see his name? Oh, because you have to close it and reopen it. There's a couple things I don't love about front office football. One of them I don't like is real-time switching. It doesn't seem like all the windows are connected together properly, which is a bit frustrating. Because then you have to go in and go out of windows to do things that you might want to do. Batonio is aging. I think guard has to be an area of concern for the future for us. Right. Right. Oh, you're my new tight end. That's fine. Okay. This week, we are facing the Broncos, who again are favored by 2. The NFL tends toward parity. It's unusual for one team to dominate for a very long time, which is what makes the New England Patriots in real life so unique. So unique? Come on, Avi. You know damn good and well that unique isn't something you can modify. Something's either unique or it isn't. I apologize. It makes it so exceptional. As if the Patriots have been good for a very long time, which is just not heard of in football. Ooh, 104 degrees in Arizona. Damn. That's some heat right there. Again, our stats aren't great. We're just not generating points. And our defense is quite good. What do we got going this week? More than 46 people. Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to make Stoffers inactive again. My bad. Another victory. Although, again, we're barely winning by the skin of our teeth. No interceptions. This was a very good game for Baker. Only one sack, which, 4 sacks on Cody Kessler, formerly of the Cleveland Browns. That's some good stuff. Yeah, see, look at how important it is to have 2 good receivers. Here we've got one really good receiver and then a bunch of other receivers that occasionally get to see footballs. I think we need to rebuild the game plan. It seems like we're forcing the ball short. Because you'll notice Rashad Higgins gets targeted way too often, I think. The problem is, who are you going to look at on the roster that says, definitely this guy needs more catches? It's hard to say. Good game for Drake Little and Mel Lamont. Before we get too much farther into the season, we want to make sure that the people we really want to lock up are locked up. So let's take a look. Anyone hurt? Not really. Okay. Right. So whose contract's coming up? Because at a certain point, we won't be able to re-sign people. So if someone we want to re-sign, we want to do that now. Mel Lamont is off to a decent start, but I'm not convinced. We're already out. We're already at the part of the season where we can't sign people again. That's whatever. Okay. We're playing Buffalo. Again, we're very slightly favored. This is troublesome. I'm going to give it one more game, and then I want to see if we should shift things around a bit. We did not win, and we got blown out. Because Baker, stop throwing interceptions. This is what I find most frustrating with front office football league. And it's because the game engine itself isn't there. I'm not criticizing Solecism software. This is, I believe, a one-man or maybe just a couple-man studio. He's done tremendous work. But one of the things that's frustrating is I don't have context for these stats. Why is Baker Mayfield throwing interceptions? I don't know. So let's take a look at the game log and see if I can maybe develop some kind of inkling about why he's throwing interceptions. All right, so we're going to go to interception. Okay. It was intended for Rashad Higgins and was intercepted. See, the problem is I don't know what... Okay, this tells us, let's see. Higgins was running a comeback route. That could have just jumped the pass. That's not helpful. Okay, this tells me something really bad. They jumped a screen. We are being way too predictable about where the ball is going. And I think that's what's crippling us. So I think it's time to design a new game plan. I think we've reached that point in the season where this is hurting us more than it's helping us. I acknowledge that we have one player who's far and away better than the others on offense. We're giving him the ball too much, though. So what we're going to do is we're going to weight all receivers equally. we're going to take advantage of the fact that up until now, and let's definitely step back on the running backs. Just a touch. Way back on the fullback. The fullback should be like the 4th or 5th line of defense. And then ever so slightly more on short passes. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm trying to make Baker spread the ball out more, so he doesn't fixate on Rashad Higgins, which means people can just cover him and no one else. We'll see how this works, but I think it's worth a shot. But that's the one thing I find I really can't wait to see front office football or front office out of the park developments take over. I think with a proper game engine, we can get a better understanding of how our players are misperforming and how we can actually adjust things to make them better. That was a lot of digging just to get some instant inkling of what was happening. I do like that they have pass rush stats, though. That's really great. I agree. I'm equally concerned about starting flanker, but what are we going to do about it? I don't know. Okay. New game plan installed. We're playing Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's not so hot this year. I think it's time. I think it is time to light them the fuck up. That was lighting them the fuck up. Okay, first of all, no picks. We barely had to pass. This is, first of all, a much more explosive running game. Led by Chubb, but the other people getting their hands in there. An efficient day by Baker Mayfield. We're still forcing the ball to Rashad Higgins a little too much. I want to see something like this, where 2 or more people get targeted 10 times. I appreciate the attempts to try to spread it out a bit, but he didn't spread it out enough. We must have just had a dominating defense. And there we go. 3 interceptions. 3 sacks. Any forced fumbles? No forced fumbles, but that's all right. One of these a pick from a defensive end. That tells you there's a pass rush coming. 2 sacks for Nick Perry. Myles Garrett gets his first sack on the season. Lots of good numbers in here. They really picked on the linebacker, but you know what? That makes sense, because look at their number 2 target. It's a tight end. Tight ends are very often matched up against linebackers, so it's fine. I also really wish you could click on a player here and get information about the player, but these are things I would like to see in the future. These are things I would like to see in the future. Very good blocking day. 2 pancakes for Clemens. Nice. Pancakes. This was a defensive whooping. It was not the offensive whooping it looked like, except for the fact that we actually ran the ball quite well. Nobody is out. People are just probable. Joel Bitonio, or maybe it's just Joel. I don't remember how he pronounces it now that I think about it. I think it's just Joel. He keeps getting hurt. I think we're reaching the stage where we need to replace him, or at least think about it, but we'll see what happens this week. Another really close one with Miami. Another 0 interception game. That is the good stuff. We ran the ball fairly well, but not perfectly. I can see why Todd Gurley's getting pissed. He's just not getting much playing time. Guys, Baker, spread the fucking ball out. Actually, I think maybe that's the problem. I think he's actually spreading it out too much. Because we don't have that extra receiver that he's got a really close connection with. And so it's pretty much Higgins or no one. Yeah, this is really bad. Interception by Derek Kindred. Forced fumble by Nick Perry. Good punts, good kicks. This is bad. Cornerbacks should never lead your team in tackles. That's not reassuring. Nick Perry and Ashawn Robinson and Terrell Everett had good games. Offensive line got beat up a bit this game. It was a bit of an issue for us. But people are getting healthy. That's cool. Okay. The Jets have been really super good the last couple of years. But we're in Cleveland and it's cold. What do we got? We got a defeat. But we're playing tight. 2 interceptions. Baker, stop. This is not getting fixed. This problem still remains. He's being targeted too often. I'm going to bet right now, based on the game log. Let's look. Both times he got intercepted was Rashad Higgins the target. That was for Robbie Dock. That was for Orson Charles. You know what? It wasn't. I know we need better players. And this could be because of Baker Mayfield not being brilliant at reading defenses. He's actually kind of shit at it. And his sense of timing isn't great either. He's got the arm to make good throws, and he's fairly accurate. He just doesn't have the best secondary passing characteristics. And so you get seasons like this one where we're throwing more interceptions than touchdowns because we don't have more reliable targets. And we don't have reliable running back. The offense needs improving, but it's just hard to find improvements. We can take a very quick look and see if there are any interesting offensive players. Any good receivers just hanging out on the market? No. It's mostly Drek. How about running backs? I don't know that we can say J.J. Potty is better than any of the running backs we have now. The problem is the best place to find elite running backs and wide receivers is in the draft. And we just haven't had much luck in the draft with either of those two positions. It is what it is. There's not much I can do about it. Okay. This is week 8. Is there anyone or anything we want to trade to try to improve? We can always try trading a draft pick. The problem with trading a draft pick is if you don't get the player you want, you're going to end up hurting. Okay. Is Amari Cooper any good? Okay, so let's talk about someone like Amari Cooper. What would happen if I offered you a second-round draft pick in this draft? Okay, he doesn't want to lose all the wide receivers. So you throw in like Robbie Dock. Does that change the equation? No. Okay. So they very correctly realized how important he is to the team. Okay. That's fine. Let's move on to a new team. Sort by position. Calvin Ridley. Here we go. Hi, Calvin. Would you like to come play for the Browns? Really good at not dropping, good route runner, really good at adjusting to the ball. Yes, please. Much more in the form of draft choices. What about a second rounder this year and a fourth rounder this year? No. They correctly realize how valuable Ridley is. I'm not trading with Baltimore. The problem is it's going to be hard to find a good partner because people who have great receivers aren't going to want to trade them. And I'm not going to want to trade for a bad receiver. Mike Williams is real good. Yeah, I think we're just going to stop wasting our time. We're not going to acquire one through trade. Is there anyone who has... Actually, this is actually a good opportunity to use... roster strengths. Yeah, we have the worst receivers in the league. This is true. Washington. Norman Burkhardt is pretty bad at catching passes. He drops a lot. He's good at getting downfield, but, you know, meh. I think Washington has a type, you guys, which is people that run down the field real good but then drop the ball when they get there. But they do have enough depth at receiver that they might be willing to make a trade. Yeah, you won't give me George Baker, I don't think, but we can try. Ah. I really don't want Norman Burkhardt. I don't like all the drops. We need to get better. I just don't think we have the pieces to get better. Unless we do something really drastic, which is trade one of my starting tackles. Because we do have two guys waiting in the wing, so that's not the dumbest idea. Okay. What if I offered you Dylan? Okay. I don't want Burkhardt. Can I get Baker? Probably not. No. Okay. Now we're cooking. I just can't pick. I need a game receiver. Who else has really deep wide receivers? Denver. Does Denver need a starting tackle? Not really. I doubt you'd take... Yeah, they're not going to trade away Demaryius Thomas. I'm not going to trade for Emmanuel Sanders. That's just freaking stupid. McKenzie is serviceable. Cortland Sutton. Nope. Quit being a butthole. Oh, here we go. San Francisco needs a starting tackle. Who really needs a starting tackle? Washington. Philly. Let's talk to Philly. This is the kind of player I want. Would you give me Aguilar? Do it. We needed to improve. I don't regret that trade. We needed a better receiver. Now we've got one. We've got a really good receiver. So now I need to activate. I need to basically start Bueno? Bueno or Yans or Bueno or Brown? Bueno's got really good blocking strength. His endurance isn't as good as Brown's. Let's go ahead and play Bueno. Oh, that's right. I do need a 7th lineman, don't I? Who do I currently have at receiver? Oh, and most importantly, did I just grab a play? Okay, Aguilar is at least good for 2 years. That's really good. I'm very happy about that. I'm going to cut Nicky Page. He was a 6th round pick. We'll get a bit of dead cap room, but we need to sign a backup tackle now. Based on future value. Please and thank you. Colin Robbins. You're a damn good run blocker. That's all you are, though. Let's do future pass protection. You guys have no endurance. Come on, guys. Clyde Hargrave. Here we go. Let's sign you for a year. Okay. Yeah, we are good. Oh, do we have too many people active? We do not. Perfect. Okay. So, go ahead and put in Bueno. Es muy bueno. I think we can all agree. Why isn't Aguilar the focal point? I'm not going to question it. Look, Aguilar's playing. That's good enough for me. Now we're going to have a slight issue, though. That issue being that we've disrupted our offensive line's cohesion. Is it worth it to get a receiver another receiver we can trust? Maybe. All right, let's rebuild the game plan. Okay. I want you both to get lots and lots of touches all the time. And we're going to step back on Callaway a bit. In fact, let's even push you two heavier. And especially in long passes. And let's cut back a little bit on the running back. Yeah, you know what? He's kind of a shitty pass catcher, isn't he? Okay, this is good. So, we've made a move. Let's see if this move pays off. Okay, New England destroyed us. And we threw 3 interceptions. And we didn't throw to Aguilar one time. But we threw the Callaway more. That's something. I do not understand how this stupid play calling thing works sometimes. Oh, because he literally got a concussion and now he's gone for 8 weeks. That was a fucking bullshit trade. It can happen. I'm salty, but not real salty. Yeah, Kendall Farrell, and then we can go ahead and do that. So that just completely destroyed that return. And someone got a really good left tackle for basically nothing. But it's fine. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter at all. Okay. So focusing on the positives, besides Baker Mayfield throwing 3 fucking interceptions again, because he can't. It's really hard for me not to get salty about this because it keeps happening every bloody week. Baker Mayfield just cannot read the damn pass rush or whatever his issue is. You cannot sit here and tell me in any conceivable world that Case Keenum is better than Baker Mayfield. Maybe he's just throwing too much. Maybe we need more of a running game. Fuck if I know. I genuinely don't know at this point. A good mix of defense, though. Different people getting some good numbers. How es bueno? He's decent. Come on, 2 frickin' points. And 3... Why? Why are you throwing so many interceptions? Oh my god. Joe Schobert got 2 interceptions returned for a touchdown. Guys, a linebacker picked him off twice. This is really starting to get old. This is really getting old. And I don't know how to scheme to correct for this either. This is ridiculous. I should not be throwing more interceptions than touchdowns in most games. And I think it's because, weirdly, the engine has decided, oh, Baker Mayfield is a moron and is going to make bad decisions all the time. Which is just not fair. I mean, this is silly. Just because he has... I don't know what to do. I genuinely don't know what to do to fix this problem. I don't. Because I can't tell the quarterback who to throw to. And I don't even... If he's getting picked off by linebackers, he's getting confused by the defense. There's no other way to put it. And that is super frustrating. And I don't know what to do at this point. I don't know. We get a bye week. That's something. Like, I'm tired of hearing about how highly rated my quarterback is, and then he never does anything. Yeah, our turnover margin is near the bottom of the league, because Baker Mayfield just makes dumb decisions. Who the hell is too seriously hurt to compete? Oh boy, now I lost fucking Callaway, and Higgins is hurt. This game. Yeah, I basically have no healthy receivers. And now I need to somehow sign a new... hang on. You're both going on you're going on injured reserve, Fernando Edwards. I need the roster spot to sign a new receiver. He's got some rust, but honestly... Is there someone who's at least good at avoiding drops? Sure, catching the ball. Sure, why not? This is a 1-year deal. Dude, you are freaking high. I am not paying you that much money. Future potential. Let's try that. Yeah, it's whatever. One, two, three, four. I need a 5th receiver. You're way too big to be a wide receiver. Otherwise, I would seriously think about it. Is there any position I can skim some off of to just sign a new receiver just so we have one more target? I have a lot of corners. Do any of my corners suck? Cooper Fulcher ain't so hot. Let's go ahead and cut him. Okay. I already have you. there are a lot of ways this game could get better. And I'm not even saying that I have an answer to some of these issues that I have currently. But it's incredibly frustrating. In OTP, I've got stats upon stats upon stats. I can tell, roughly speaking, where a player is falling short. I also know baseball better than football. That could be part of the issue too. In front office football, I don't have enough information to make an informed decision. I don't know why Baker Mayfield throws 2 interceptions every game. I don't. If I look at his statistical record, what do I have? Okay, this is how he's done. Where's 2022? Here we go. 2,100 yards. He's on pace to throw more yards he's ever thrown in a season. Miscellaneous passing. Okay, he can't complete passes in the red zone. He's getting much worse on third down. Actually, he's about the same. I look at these numbers and they don't tell me anything useful. They don't. I cannot tell why he is not throwing the ball correctly. I have to guess based on the ratings. And the ratings tell me he's throwing them because he can't time the ball, which I'm assuming timing means he holds onto the ball too long. Is that correct? Here we go. Timing. Okay, so this is basically, it's a different way to okay, here's the issue. It's the fact he can't read a defense. Timing is basically making big plays. Okay, everything else he's fine at. But he can't time the ball well, which means he doesn't get the bombs, and he can't read a defense. And these are both things I can't really fix. I've told the Baker either figures it out for himself or something. I don't know what. I do not have more than 46 people in my active roster. That's a filthy lie. I guess it's not a filthy lie. Let's go ahead and bench Farrell. How often were you playing Farrell? I don't know. I just don't know, you guys. And I don't know, look, I'll be totally frank with you. I don't know that there is an easy way to build a football engine to help you figure that out. Unless it tells you more than just how often you throw to someone, but in what situations you throw to someone. And that's where we are right now. Let's keep going. As long as we're in the AFC North, there's always a chance we'll make the playoffs. Because right now, if we can get a bit of a hot streak, I think we can turn the season around at least a little bit. Or we could get beat 41-38 because the game hates me. And oh my god, I sincerely hope. No, this game was too close. This is all Baker. Again, throwing interceptions. This is obscenely unfair. That the game is decided that Baker Mayfield is just a complete bloody moron and just throws interceptions all the time. And it makes it impossible to plan. Unless I just say, oh, I fucked up. I'd better just cut Baker Mayfield, which I can't afford to do because I just signed a new contract. Maybe you can say, get good, mate. That's your fault. And that's fair. But this isn't about me getting good. This is about Baker Mayfield just shitting the bed and just throwing interceptions every game. What do I do in that situation? How do I fix that? I could tell him to stop throwing to the receivers, throw more safety routes, but he's not a West Coast quarterback. He's not good at throwing short. Well, I guess he's at least okay at throwing short routes. Maybe that's a solution. Maybe we fire the offensive coordinator and totally reinvent the offense. Try to go for short passes rather than long passes. Even though Baker sucks at those, because frankly he keeps throwing interceptions, I can't do anything. And he's getting picked off by linebackers, which means he's making bad reads. This is nice. A fumble return for a touchdown is nice. But this is bad. This is incredibly bad. And we're losing to teams we should be beating. I'll be totally frank. We're losing to teams that we should be beating. Higgins will be back soon. Well, we won that game. We beat New Orleans. Hey, Baker only threw one interception this time. Oh, Miles Jack got an interception for a touchdown. That's pretty sweet. 4 interceptions. Damn, the defense was on point today. Only 2 sacks, but that's all right. And I beat Jacksonville, barely. For once, Baker Mayfield was efficient. He threw 2 touchdown passes, got no interceptions. Running game is still shit. This is the other thing, and this could also be why Baker's throwing interceptions. We're not running the ball effectively enough, and that it may just mean we need to cough up for a better running back. Look, 2 touchdowns for Leonard Welch. 6 catches for Jordan Reed, and 5 catches for Rashad Higgins. We're finally reaching where we should be, which is him spreading the ball around and making smarter decisions. Took us a while to get there, but we got there, sort of. Good day for the defense, 2 sacks, a few pressures. Anyone else injured? We could activate Callaway. That wouldn't be a bad idea. The thing is, though, Leonard Welch has really taken advantage of the situation. I keep seeing his name pop up a lot. I mean, he's not super great, but he's getting in the right position at the right time, and that's an incredibly valuable skill. Do we want Callaway back? I think maybe we do. Yeah, and we can go ahead and sit Drock. And then let's go ahead. No. Drock is way better than Waymeyer. Let's go ahead and reshuffle the offensive personnel. And then we lose to Carolina. So, 2 interceptions. Quit it, Baker. Just stop. This is the game we should have won going forward. But again, we just throw so many interceptions. We keep letting the other team get back in it. And we lost 2 fumbles, so that's even more fun. Whatever. We beat Cincinnati for all the good that does us. So here's the thing. When Baker doesn't throw interceptions, we're much better. Ball gets spread around. People make plays. It's fine. Wow. How do we only have 1/2 sack? Oh, no. We have a sack and a half. That's fine. Anyone newly healthy or injured? Yeah, I lost my center. Brilliant. I don't even know who to start at center. I don't even know. Could Brown play center? Maybe. He plays pretty much anywhere. That's what we'll do. We'll just have Brown play center for the rest of the season. I'm going to put you on injured reserve. And I'm going to try to find a young guard. I also wish I knew how the overall formula comes out. Because this is actually a very bad guard. But the game is like, oh my god, look at his run blocking. His endurance is 10. He's not going to be any good. He's got good blocking strength. He doesn't have good pass blocking. That's not nothing. We'll sign him for the rest of the year. But, yeah, we're going to go ahead and have... And that's equally stupid. I can't even look at my damn depth chart unless I have a center. That's stupid. If I move you to center, how much would your abilities change? It won't change. Okay. It did change a tiny bit. But yeah, I'm actually not going to start him there. I'm going to put my tackle there. We beat Tampa 33-28. Only threw one touchdown, but didn't throw any interceptions, which, to be frank, is about all we can hope for. Rushing touchdown for Baker Mayfield. That's pretty cool. How did the fullback get a 50-yard run? I'm not going to question it. 2 picks, including a return for a touchdown by Ayersman. 2 sacks. This is really good. Guys, this was an elite defensive performance. And if we are going to make the playoffs, and if we're going to do well at all, that's got to be our hint. That's got to be our trick. Okay. We got to go and activate Agahor, or whatever the dude's name is. I can't remember his name. And then we're going to go ahead and bench Doc. I always call him Drock. I don't know why. No, you're not starting Fisk there. You're starting Brown. Because Fisk can't fucking pass block. Okay. It comes down to this. If we beat Pittsburgh... Oh, Baltimore and Cincinnati. Yeah, we're not making the playoffs. Yeah, I think we're literally eliminated from the playoffs already. So that ended up not... Okay. Let's talk it out. Baltimore beat Cincinnati. We would finish the year tied. But here's the thing. I think Cincinnati beat me twice during the season. Is that true, or did we split? We split. Okay. Oh, I see. The rest of the league is really fucking good this year. So Baltimore beat Cincinnati. We would get a playoff spot compared to Cincy. But there's also two other teams who'd get the wild card, New Jersey and Houston. It's not impossible, but it's pretty unlikely. We did our part. We lit up fucking Pittsburgh like a Christmas tree. 2 picks, but 2 touchdowns. Aguilar was pretty rusty at that point. 2 rushing touchdowns by Todd Gurley. Another pick for a touchdown by Ayersman. But yeah, I knew we were getting bounced. Oh, fucking Cincy won. You jerks. Okay. Let's go and just finish the playoffs. Chicago and Indy won the Super Bowl. Good for them. This is another lost season. But we did finish, what, 9-7? Or 10-7? 9-7. We're constantly in the hunt for a playoff spot. And that's testament to some good team building, but we're not able to push ourselves over that hump, which is not so good. Okay. Baker threw for 4,000 yards, but threw more interceptions than touchdowns. I think we just have to accept that that's possibly the price of doing business. I love the yardage, though. He was more explosive this year than he has been in a few other years, which is good. Rushing the ball. Baker Mayfield was our second best rusher. Todd Gurley was a non-factor. He's probably really unhappy with us. I want to think about cutting him. Best receiver again, Rashad Higgins, and then the rest of the team just kind of fought over the scraps. Which is fine. This may be our hidden salvation, is Aguilar. If he doesn't decline, we'll get him next year. And maybe he can be that second receiver that we desperately need. Returns. Not much to say except for Melvin Campbell. Kicking was great as always. Punting was phenomenal. Defense. Fucking Ayersman. 1.5 sacks. I think at least 3 picks that I saw. 2 of which were for touchdowns. How can I find how many fumbles you forced? Here it is. 5. Look, guys, that's the good stuff. Braden Ratliff, quit your belly aching. And then I do want to see the awards, see if we got any Pro Bowlers. Look, if Aylesman didn't make the Pro Bowl this year, I frankly don't know what you need to do to make the Pro Bowl. There you go. We had 3 Pro Bowlers this year. Nice. But only 3. But hey, our defensive tackle, our inside linebacker, and our fullback, of all people, our fullback, made it. That's pretty crazy. We didn't get any rookies of the year, but frankly, none of the rookies started enough for that. Tom Brady, Antonio Gates, and Jason Peters. That's interesting. Oh, that's cool. And his number was retired. I didn't know there was a Hall of Fame in here. Neat. Let's check transactions. Did any of my players retire? Not yet, at least. That's good. This season, I was a little saltier than normal. I think it's partly justified. But I do acknowledge that the game gave me some indication that the season might go this way. We know Baker's a volatile dude. Not literally, at least I hope not. But, the one good bit of news is that we have a companion receiver for Higgins. Someone who's reliable. And if we get him to be where he could be, we will be in far better shape. Did Dunlop go and get worse again? No, he's still there. He just didn't get a lot of playing time. Mel Lamont had a good but not great year. That's fine. Alright. So what do we want to target next year? We do need an elite running back, which we don't have. We need, I want to say, one more receiver. Maybe a top-notch tight end. And I think we just need more depth. We have an amazing offensive line, potentially. We just need to give it another couple years to get there. Zeitler's starting to... Guard has to be another area of concern. We do need a guard of the future. And we need more defensive ends. Maybe that means shifting Dunlap out to defensive end. He's a big boy, though. We really have two top-notch tackles. We can shift someone over. I would like to get a little bit deeper at linebacker, though. We've got two linebackers I really trust. Perry had another good year, just not a great year. Might be reaching toward the end of his career. Why is Ratliff always in a shitty mood? Who's getting played over him? Oh, probably Grauer. Probably Denzel Ward. Actually, certainly Denzel Ward. Yeah. Okay, Denzel Ward has almost vanished. That's not great. So cornerback's another area we need to develop up. Willis could be really good, and I think if we give him a full year, we'll see some good stuff from him. We have a good team, but if we're going to be truly elite, we need to find a way to take a step forward. And figuring that out is going to be the task in the next episode. Do let me know what you think of the series thus far. I always am curious to see what people think. Yeah. Let me know if you have any tips or strategies. We can try to change things up. I need to remember to rebuild the playbook next season. I keep forgetting to do that, and I think if we do that, we'll be in even better shape. But for now, thank you for watching, and until next time, this has been Avindian, and I bid you good day.